challenges of being the defending champion versus climbing that mountain last year?
Well, I think we're going to get everybody's best. That comes with the territory, but I think that's good. That means that we have to have extreme focus and preparation each and every game and play our best, or we know we're going to get beat. So I think in the long run, knowing that you're the team to beat, I think makes you better.
Beyond Washington, have you had a chance to kind of follow the other teams in the Pac-12? You kind of notice like Utah's at the top right now.
Yeah.
Arizona, some of the teams that were picked at the bottom.
Yeah, and I think that's great. It makes for a better conference. You know, when your teams, that weren't picked to do well are 10 and 11 and 0 or 10 and 1, whatever it is, it helps all of us. So I think that's great, and it just goes to show you that the depth of the conference is as good as it's ever been. So there are no gimmies, and I think that's why our conference has done so well in the NCAA in the last several years, because you got to bring it every night in conference play. There's just no weak sisters.
Taylor and Ruthie both said that they derived a lot of confidence after the Mississippi State game. What did you learn from your team specifically after that game?
I learned that if we want to be tough, we can play a tough game. I think the knock on us from time to time is that we're soft. We're so good offensively that I think sometimes we feel like, well, it's going to be easy at the defensive end, and it's just not. And I thought we got punched in the mouth at Michigan State, and I think our kids learned from it. And we decided that we would be the aggressors, and I thought the coaches came up with a great game plan, and they executed it well, and so it just, I think, gave us confidence knowing that, yeah, we can rely on our defense if we need to.
As a coaching point, is the Michigan State game an even bigger, more important game of the non-conference season than any of the others, just in terms of a teaching point with your team?
Yeah, you wish you wouldn't have to lose to have to make that point, but yeah, I think you can, just goes to show you can make a positive out of any negative, and I think we did that. I would much rather have the Michigan State loss and Mississippi State win than vice versa, because I really thought that gave us that confidence, knowing, hey, we can play with anybody, and we played their game for a good portion of it, and we did it well.
Going into that stretch of all those games, you were kind of sounding the alarm defensively. Do you feel like you've made strides over the last few weeks that entering the conference you guys are better?
Yeah, I think defensively I try to push some buttons from time to time. I don't think we're as bad as I sometimes make it out to be. I think we're adequate. We've got to continue to get better, there's no doubt. But, we recruit players that can score and offensive minded players. And so when you play us, you're going to have to put up some points. And so we don't, and I think what makes our defense maybe different than most is that we have to be in sync as a unit. We just can't rely on athleticism. We're not a very athletic team. We're not a quick team. So if we make a mistake defensively, we can't make up for it with just pure athleticism. So we have to be in sync, all 5 players. And when we do that, when we have great synergy, at the defensive end, then yes, we're a good enough defensive team. But, I think our bread and butter is at the offensive end. It has been, and that's what we focus on both ends, but we're made to play offense.
Ruthie kind of mentioned a bit of a unique challenge with Washington, them playing 5 out, and it's going to be an interesting kind of game and matchup for her. What about them jumps out on the tape to you?
That they can all play. They're strong. They're physical players. And yeah, we've seen a couple teams like that. St. Mary's College and South Dakota State both played a kind of a 5-out, just pass and cut, post up, all their different players kind of on offense. So we've seen it and done well against it. But they're good and they're hungry. I know last year they came in here and gave us all we could handle. That game wasn't decided until the 4th quarter. So I anticipate they'll be hungry and fired up, and they've got a good enough team to come in here and really push us. No doubt. We've got to be at our best.
Morgan had been out for a minute. I know she came back for the exhibition. Is she good to go now?
I don't know. With her, it's day to day. So some practices she's in, some she's out. Some days she can just shoot. So I think with her, it's always going to be a game time decision.
And forgive me because we hadn't gotten to talk to you for several weeks. But what exactly was the injury with her?
I'm not sure I can disclose that. I don't know what the rules are. So. Off the record, I guess I could tell you, but I'm not exactly sure, you guys, in this day and age. So.
Taylor talked about going home and over the break and sort of fixing her shot a little bit. She said she felt like that her shot hadn't been great through most of the non-con. came back to the Concordia game, even though it was an exhibition, and shot really, really well. Was there a marked difference in just seeing her out on the floor in terms of shooting in that game and how that sets up into this Pac-12 schedule?
Yeah, I think that was really important for her to see the ball go in the basket a few times. You know, she's a great shooter. I don't think mechanically there's anything different. I think the one thing about Taylor is she's an all-rounded player, right? And she looks, you know, the first thing we talk to our players about is who am I? Who are my teammates? Who is guarding me? Who's guarding my teammates? You have to have that basic understanding. She looks around when she's on the floor. She's got Sabrina and Maite and Ruthie, and I mean she's smart enough to realize maybe that's not me. So there might be a lack of confidence right now, thinking that hey, maybe I'm not the one that should be taking this shot. But we have a lot of confidence in her. It was great to see that in the last game, because she's a phenomenal player, and she truly is. And not many freshmen on a top 5 team are playing 22 minutes a game, and she's earned it because she gives us the defensive toughness. She's quick. Her assist-to-turnover ratio is great. She makes good decisions out on the court. She's just not shooting that well right now, but that will come because she's an elite shooter.
Kind of a trial by fire with Mississippi State and Michigan State on the road and Syracuse for her as a true freshman. How important was it having those games and having her log substantial minutes in those games to be ready for this kind of slog through conference?
Yeah, no, valuable. I think valuable. You know, I know the numbers have been portrayed as, you know, oh wow, this is how can you guys do it with this few of players? But the reality is we only have one player averaging 30 minutes or more. So, you know, our kids are rested. We have a quality bench that can come in and help win games. In fact, if you look at the Mississippi State game, who's on the floor basically the whole fourth quarter? Saudi Gilden, Taylor Chavez, and not Aaron Boley and Satu Sabali. So, you know, that's pretty good to have that luxury. So, no, I think no, we're in a good spot right now, and we're ready to start Pac-12.
And obviously with Taylor, there was a lot of buzz after the Mississippi State game with her activity. What were some of your conversations with her after that game?
I remember talking to her before the game, saying that I really trusted her, and I don't know if I've trusted a freshman, you know, like her in a while. I mean, I truly believe in her, and I know her teammates do too. And like I said, you earn it with playing time, and she's playing a good bit. You know, she's playing almost as many minutes as Sabrina did as a freshman. So at this point. So yeah, that will continue to rise if she continues to play like she has been.
Have you kind of encouraged Sabrina and Ruthie and all them to kind of talk to her and, you know, help her all the time?
Actually, I think her and Sabrina have a great connection. I think they, you know, I think Sabrina's spending a lot of time with her, you know, on the court and talking to her and giving her whatever words of wisdom she can. So, because I think they're a lot alike, you know, in their approach to the game and how they play.
Any advantage of starting Pac-12 play at home? Is that, you know, it's obviously it's a grind, but is there any advantage to get these first 2 games here at Matthew Knight?
I don't think it's an advantage either way. In fact, I'd just soon be on the road early. That means you've got home games at the end of the year. You know, on the second half of conference play, I think we only play, you know, at home 3 times. So our final 6 of our last 9 are on the road, and that's never easy. So, yeah, I don't think it really matters. I'm just ready to get going. I mean, honestly. All this preparation non-league is for this right now. And then this prepares you for March and hopefully into April.